Alright guys, so the Goku's Legendary Battle event or Legendary Goku event, whatever you want to call it, it is live on JP Dokkan. It is very fun, and it is very, very difficult. So what they've done before, like with Super Battle Road, right, is you'll have a couple of sort of quick fights, right? Usually, in the Super Battle Road fights, they're not going to last very many turns. Some of the category stages do have a boss that has a ridiculous amount of health, right? Like, think of that one physical Vegito, what is it, in the Majin Buu Saga stage, who has just, like, seemingly infinite health, right? And it really will take you a long time to go through him. Well, that's sort of what this event is right here. As you can see, it's 8 stages. Basically, Goku goes through all of his forms. I mean, I guess except for, like, Kaioken and Kaioken Blue. He doesn't really have, like, a Tournament of Power Kaioken Blue card, though. It's very long, and in particular, the last phase, this UI Goku, is very, very powerful, and he does a lot of damage, and then he also has this extra little thing, which he disables enemies, like, a chance to dodge. Just like the Tech Hit event did, well, UI Goku does not allow you to dodge, which actually does hamper quite a number of units who would dominate this event otherwise. An example is Blue Gogeta. He's still going to be good. I'm sure a lot of people are going to beat the event, probably thanks to him and his guaranteed crits once he is in blue form. But the 50% dodging that Gogeta would also have is basically nullified. Gogeta also has 130% defense, so he'll still work fine, but, like, he really would be, like, I would say, like, a top 5 unit in this event if he was capable of dodging. Now, the first thing I want to do, we're going to go over a lot of units that could be good here. I've sort of found some gems. I've talked with some people. They've kind of given me some ideas for some good units. I'm going to just go over a few here that might help out a lot of people. Now, I want to start by talking about a number of tech units here, right? Because the big issue is that, really, of all the phases of the fight, it does not become difficult, really, until Phase 7 against the STR Ultra Instinct Sign Goku, and then Phase 8 against the UI Goku. Now, because of how powerful the last phase is and being int, it does hamper Tech-type units quite a bit. Now, take Tech Vegito Blue, for example. I did a video where I completely, made him the focal point, right? I wanted to get him as many supers as possible. I had him super every single turn all the way up to the final phase. And on, basically his first time in that final phase, he got supered, took, 375k, and then he took a normal and took 32k. So, even though Vegito Blue does stack his defense, every time he supers, we're talking, I must have done, 15 supers, 10 to 15 supers at least. And then by the time we got to the phase that UI Goku was still able to basically one-shot us because he supered Tech Vegito Blue. So, Tech Vegito Blue definitely is a good choice for this event, but I would say a better option is actually LR Vegito Blue. The reason LR Vegito Blue is better in this event, there is only one reason, because LR Vegito Blue is not tech. That's it. That's literally it. It's because this event really ramps up in that last phase, and it kills, a lot of tech cards that might have been very useful. I feel like LR Goku Black, I've not used them in the event, but I feel like they would get bodied. A lot of the really good tech cards, it's just not viable to run a lot of them. And, of course, LR Vegito Blue is also able to raise his attack and defense. That's a big thing that we're going to talk about, too. Because the event is so long, taking, 30-plus turns, units that raise their attack and defense are the kings of this. They are, the event is designed around those types of units being able to beat this event, because it goes so long, they'll be able to build up their attack and defense so long that they'll be very, very formidable in here. Now, let me talk about this unit right here, the LR Gohan and Goten that just came out on Global. So, Global, I'm sure a lot of Global players might have pulled this guy, and they're very curious how he would work in the event. I do think this LR will be very, very good in the event, because by the time you get to that final phase, they will have all of this right here. They'll have the extra 100% attack and defense, which I believe does multiply into this right here, which allows them to hit very hard as well as defend very well. Now, I think they will still be susceptible to taking like ridiculous damage from a UI Goku Super, probably 250k minimum. But I think this unit can get it done, and you will easily be able to get their active skill in the event as well. But, I mean, in an event like this, it's not like active skills are good, really good in, like, Super Battle Road, Dokkan events, because pretty much they're strong enough to, like, take out, like, whatever phase you're on. But in this event, it's not going to be strong enough to do that. But I do think this unit will be very, very powerful and will be able to, like, make a real good headway. Like, on the Joint Forces team, like, I've found that the Joint Forces team is probably the easiest way to beat this event, but, again, we know exactly why these three. LR, Kale, and Khalifa are the best unit in the game, and they are, by far, the unit that is designed to take this event down. Because here's the thing, Dokkan, they're not slick. They've released several units lately, like LRK and Khalifa, that permanently stack their defense, who very clearly are geared toward this event, right? Dokkan has been sliding some of these units in recently, without us sort of realizing what it was, but now we do know. So, like, LRK and Khalifa, this Trunks is another one. I was able to no-item the event, basically on the back of this Trunks right here, because, one, his leader skill is so good, Future, so that includes a lot of very powerful units that could stack their attack and defense, like LR Vegito Blue, and then Super Class Key 3 and 120% the stats, so then I'm able to bring, like, LR, Kale, and Khalifa on the team and let them sort of take control, and then not just LR, Kale, and Khalifa, but also... where is she? I've got her over here. Hold on. There's Zamasu, 17. Oh, I'm spoiling all the different units I want to show, but this, Kale right here. This Kale is another ridiculously top-tier unit. But, like, here's the thing, especially if you're free to play on GP, like, it's a tall task to expect you guys to have... Hold on, where is... No... Yeah, there he is right there. So look at all these recent units that have come out that will be very, very good in this event. So you got LR, Kale, and Khalifa, right? Of course, they sacked their defense, but they were a featured LR on an LR banner. And then it's like, Kale is, like, you have the same chance of pulling Kale that you do LR, Khalifa, and Kale. So she also is right there. Very, very difficult to pull, but with her permanent stacking attack and defense, and the fact that she will do, especially once you get to the UI Goku portions, she's going to do a minimum of 3 super attacks. So she's going to rack up a lot of damage and rack that defense up very quickly. So she's designed for this event. Dokkan Fest Kid Goku, look, like, his passive is like a novel right here. So attack and defense 77% to start a turn. He gets an extra attack or defensive buff, like it's a scale based on how high his health is or how low his health is. Then he gives himself Ki, and he gets 10% attack and defense at the start of every turn, up to 59%. So basically, like, the way his passive works, like, by the time you get to UI Goku, he'll be completely built up. He'll be much stronger than the average sort of TUR. So this Dokkan Fest Kid Goku is going to be very, very powerful for the event, right? But he's another brand new unit, right? This guy just came out. Same thing with Trunks. Trunks just came out. Then also this Khalifa. Now this Khalifa... if not for the ability that UI Goku has to prevent you from dodging, this Khalifa would probably be the absolute #1 unit for this event. So I don't think it's because of her ability to dodge, but, like, they realized, like, a lot of these units would be able to just destroy this event, like Gogeta Blue, this Khalifa. I mean, LR, Kale, and Khalifa, it doesn't really matter with them because their defense will be so high, but they would have the ability to dodge, right? So, like, Khalifa is basically a dead on arrival unit in this event. I would not run her. She does stack her attack and defense, which is very important, but, like, she's a tech type unit. She's going to get obliterated once you get to UI Goku at the end, so I would not run her. So, like, we kind of gone over a lot of these units. Dokkan Fest Kid Goku will be very, very helpful. I'm not sure what team I would run him on. I suppose the Goku's family team. You could probably run a very, like, think of, like, a lot of the typical units you would think, right? Like, so, like, LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku. A lot of these units would be really good, but let me tell you who's not going to be good. a unit that you do not want to use is this guy right here. UI Goku is another dead on arrival unit for this event. The reason why, hear me out, because listen, I love UI Goku. I actually feel UI Goku, it seems like a lot of the community has kind of like forgotten about him, but like he's very, very good. So attack and defense 100%, and he permanently stacks his attack. So UI Goku by the end of this fight is going to be doing a lot of damage. Here's where the issue lies. He transforms when you fall below 50% HP, which is going to happen, into this UI Goku. Very strong unit. Still stacks his attack permanently, but he does not have a defensive buff. He loses his defensive buff and gets a chance to dodge. So this Goku will get obliterated by the UI Goku that you fight. This is not a unit you can run. He's just going to get absolutely cream pied by the enemy UI Goku. So unfortunately, without the dodging mechanic able to be used, UI Goku just does not stand a ghost of a chance in there. So keep that in mind. This tech god Goku would be good if not for the fact that he was tech. Really, like most of these tech units, I would not really consider almost any tech units to run here outside of like really Trunks. I feel like LR Super Saiyan 3 Goku probably also could get the job done, because once you get to that final phase, you just don't get his 18 key super anymore. Do not even touch it, and then let that 120% defense kind of shine through. That's the other thing with this Trunks, right? If you guys watch the videos where I used him, I kept Trunks in this form because, like, he stacks his attack and defense up to 8 times. It was so bizarre when I first saw that, because I was like, why would he build his attack and defense so much when events, like, you can't do this until a minimum of the 3rd turn anyway, and then it's going to take like another 16 turns, basically, in order to fully build up his passive? There's no event that does that. I don't understand. And then, oh yeah, now they drop this event. Now this is why. Any stacks attack and defense. So again, Trunks really is, I can call him the king of the event, because Kale and Khalifa are the queens of the event. So this guy is definitely the king of the event. If you've got him, it doesn't matter if he doesn't have dupes or not. You'll be able to build him up so far that he'll be good. You can also go to this form. I do not recommend it, though, until like you can finish the fight off. Like when he's got like 1 or 2 health bars left, then you want to transform here and give him the finishing blow. But at this point, he no longer stacks attack and defense, but he does become super effective against all types. So with that, you will be able to do a lot more damage to UI Goku. Really, the reason this guy is so good is defensively. He's just not able to be touched, right? So keep that in mind. Let me see. We can get rid of a lot of these units here. Yeah, we don't need to look at them or them. Evolution Blue Vegeta, I think, is going to be very, very strong here, because in his normal blue form, he's going to get up to a very, very high amount of defense. Base 130% defense, essentially. And then after he transforms, same thing, 130% attack and defense, and then 2 additionals. But, like, he also gets this ridiculous chance to crit on his passive. So, dude, like, crits are very important against UI Goku because of how ridiculously high his health is, or his defense is. So you want units that can crit. Like, that's one way they semi-nerfed, like, Physical Super Vegito and even the transform version of LR Vegito, is because their counters don't do damage to Goku unless they crit. And of course, keep in mind, everything I'm talking about, I'm really only focusing in on the final phase, because really, like, the first 6 phases, like, they're very easy. You can kind of very easily get through them, but it's once he goes Ultra Instinct Sign that the real fight begins. So, like, when I'm talking about a lot of these units, I'm counting them for that last phase. Keep that in mind. But this Blue Vegeta is going to be another very, very strong unit. Now, we have Zamasu. I think Zamasu will be fine in the event, but same thing like Trunks. You're going to want to keep Zamasu right here with the 40% damage reduction. Him not having defense does hurt him here, and then you don't want to go into this form. Yeah, the extra damage is awesome. It's fantastic, but this is not good. Reduced damage by 20%. Now, one thing I should also point out is Goku, you can lower his defense even as the UI form. So I suppose, well, does this Zamasu lower defense as well? Yeah, greatly, but massively is a big deal. So, like, at this point, like, if you get close to the end, you could have this guy potentially massively lower UI Goku's defense, and then that might open it up for physical Super Vegito and possibly also for LR Transform Vegito to really start destroying Goku with the counters, because if you can get his defense down, their counters will be able to damage him. I'm probably... I think that's a good video. Bringing, like, I think probably the Potara team might be the best place to do that, and then kind of trying to lower his defense to see how it works. You know who else lowers defense that I think I could rock into that Potara team, who just got his Easy A, who is stunningly good, is this Goku Black right here. Yeah, he greatly lowers defense on his super attack, so you could almost have a rotation of the two of them. This Goku Black, by the way, I'm glad I pulled him up, because he is going to dominate that final phase, because guess what? UI Goku is a Goku's family category enemy, so actually, now that I'm looking at this Goku Black, he's kind of designed for the event as well, because you're going to get 20% attack and defense per orb, since Goku is, of course, a member of the Goku's family category. Then this Goku Black is going to have his ki, like, he's going to start with basically full ki as well, because you're going to get hit several times throughout this, 35-turn event or whatever. And then he also is creating rainbow key spheres. So it's going to be very easy for him to get, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 orbs consistently. So this Goku Black will be very good. Yeah, I'm going to test that out. We're going to try and lower Goku's defense and see if counters can then sort of chip him away. This Android 17 will be good. I actually low-key think the Android team is going to be very, very effective here for a number of reasons, right? Okay, this guy right here. This 17, and then the other one we're going to pull up, Goresh actually mentioned to try this guy out over here, is actually Super Mira. So let's look at this, right? So 17, he'll be very good in the event. He can lower defense as well, which might help out with how high this Goku's defense is. So one of the big things is that he's giving all allies 3 ki and 60% defense, very, very strong. And then he does reduce damage when your HP falls below 77%. So running like a double 17 in this event will be pretty good. But then also like STR Cell right here. After this guy gets his Easy A, the Android team, I think, will easily be able to clear this event. Right now, I want to test it out. I'll probably do a video on this as well. Taking the Android team into this event with several of these units that could stack their stuff. But as you can see, STR Cell right here can actually stack his attack and defense. I believe Int Cell greatly stacks his attack, so he could become ridiculously strong by the end of the fight as well. And then Tech Cell, as amazing as he is, I would not bring him into the event because, of course, he is tech. You want to avoid those tech units. But STR Cell, it'll be interesting to see how good he can get stacking his attack and defense, considering he does not have a normal defensive buff. And then Super Mira. Now, obviously, this is JP exclusive right now. I do not think the chances of Heroes coming to Global is dead yet. I still think there is a good chance. But this Mira, he does greatly raise his defense every single time he supers, like in Goku Black. Now, I have found that in Goku Black still, like, his defense raises to a good point, but he's not taking 0 damage. Like, he's still taking good damage, even in that UI Goku fight. So I assume it would be the same thing with Mira, who I presume has lower stats than Int Goku Black. Let me see. What is Int Goku Black's defense? He is at... Yeah, he's got... Well, it's a little bit higher defense. But in Goku Black, by the way, you could easily get to this transformation. That takes like almost no effort. Greatly raising his defense every turn. He's also a good solid unit here. Future Gohan is a king in this event, man. I love this. Finally, like, Future Gohan, even in, like, Super Battle Road, he was only, like, okay. Like, there was no place where I felt like Future Gohan was spectacular. Finally, there is indeed a place. Like, even look at the teams he's on, dude. Like, Goku's family is definitely one of the better teams in the game. Future only just became one of the really good teams in the game, and then Hybrid Saiyans is kind of a dead team. So, you weren't able to get a lot of use out of Future Gohan. But because he's a physical type, number one, so he's got advantage over UI Goku, he does raise his defense on Super. It's only for 1 turn, though. If he stacked his defense or anything like that, man, Future Gohan would be so much better. That's really all they would need to do. I think if he just, like, stacked attack and defense instead of just raise it for 1 turn, that would really help Future Gohan. Now, he has damage reduction, right? So once you get to the end of the fight, he'll be reducing damage by 50%, but then he's also got type advantage, and then he potentially has a really high defense, so that'll be good. Yeah, looking at this card, why did they shaft him so much? Like, UI Goku was out before this guy, and he had 100% attack and defense without his transformation active. Like, why couldn't they have just given that to Gohan? That's still a mystery. I do think Future Gohan is the worst category leader, but now he does have a real spot to shine. I also did notice this Vegeta as well. I was kind of, like, I was looking through here, looking at units that, stack their attack, looking at units that stack their defense as well, trying to find, some sort of gems of units that could really, really help you out, right? And, like, this Vegeta right here is one of them. Look at all the stuff he does. So he stacks attack and defense, so we know how good that is. He gets 1 key at the start of every turn and 60% attack when there's a Goku family enemy, which there is. He gets 90% attack and defense on Super. Then he gets 6 key and 60% defense when HP 60% or below. So this Vegeta is a monster in this event. I'll probably try him out maybe on a Pure Saiyan team with this Vegeta right here. Now, this guy is only a little disappointing in that he raises his defense all the way up to the God level, but then at the blue level, he no longer does it, which is very, very disappointing. Because if he permanently stacked his defense, that would make him so much better for the event. Same with, like, transforming Goku and transforming Frieza, right? They stop stacking once they get to the final form. But he is physical, so he'll have type advantage over Goku. Attack and defense 120%. Then he does become, a new 10% attack per key sphere obtained. Going to be a very, very good unit for the end of this event. So the Pure Saiyan team could potentially work very well. So there we go. I felt like that goes over a lot of the units that could potentially be very good. There is other things like, God Vegeta potentially could be useful. It is a shame Brawl would be, like, a killer in this event, because Brawl is the only unit in the game that stack massively raises her attack. So she could potentially surpass, other units in attacking power just because of how much more she's raising her attack than them. But the problem is she's tech. So, UI Goku will destroy her. The other thing, too, is she is a dodging unit, which is ineffective in this event. So that does hurt her. And then God Vegeta does have the ability to greatly stack his attack. So he could become pretty interesting as well. So let me know what you guys think of the event. It is definitely beatable for a lot of free-to-play players. I think LR Vegito Blue being so good in this event and being completely free will definitely help out a lot. I think for a lot of players, like a Realm of Gods team, a Future team, Potara team, those will be the ways to go. Maybe it's a little boring. Oh, Potara, what a shock. But, Potara with the Vegitos that can counter. Again, we just went over Goku Black, who could potentially lower Goku's defense, as well as merge Zamasu to open it up for the counters to work for the other Vegitos. I'm definitely going to test that out. In Goku Black, you could rock on the team, greatly stacking his defense. There are a lot of potential beasts on, like, the Potara team. So let me know if you guys have beaten it, what teams you've used. I will continue to do a whole bunch of videos on this. Let me know if there's any particular unit you want to see tested out in this mode, how they fare, and I will get to that. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch y'all next time.